Hey, happy Monday. Um, it's the first one of the year. Happy New Year. I know I'm a little bit late, a week late, but better later than never, right? Welcome to Monday Evening Quarterback, the Aftershow. This is where I discuss what I didn't talk about on the up and coming episode of the Daily Blitz's first official podcast entitled Monday Evening Quarterback. And if you are enjoying the podcast, make sure you like, share, and subscribe to keep up with us. Discussed everything that happened in the NFL. Certain teams losing, the certain teams getting in, and yeah, the wild week 18, as I like to call it. Some of the things that I didn't discuss. The Philadelphia Eagles next to the Jacksonville Jaguars. I think they're one of the biggest disappointments in the league, falling to the New York Giants. And if I'm being honest, the Giants could have beat them the first time on Christmas Day a few weeks ago. The Eagles were 10-1 at one point and looked to be just running away with the NFC, and it looked like the NFC was going to travel through Philly to get to the Super Bowl. And that's not the case now. The Eagles are in the 5 seed. I'll talk about the playoff matchups after this. The Dallas Cowboys are the champions of the NFC East, and well deserved. They were just better down the stretch. I know they lost those 2 games, but they were able to rally and get better. They did beat the Washington Commanders, which ended up being the final game of Ron Rivera's tenure as the Commanders head coach, because he was fired today. Raiders beat the Broncos. Look, I'm just going to say this right now. Las Vegas, do the right thing. Make Antonio Pierce the head coach. I'm going to tell you guys, when I met Michael Strahan, I had asked him about Antonio Pierce, and I said, has he done enough to get this job? And he said, absolutely. And Mike goes into a little story. Having played with him, this was one guy you did not want to piss off. And I believe that. I just saw a completely different shift in energy when Antonio Pierce took over compared to how it was when Josh McDaniels was the head coach. I always say, when you want to play for a head coach, it will show. Seahawks beat the Cardinals, but they did miss the playoffs. Rams beat the 49ers, but San Francisco rested a majority of their starters, and that was a meaningless game for them. The Green Bay Packers are back in the playoffs. They're in first year with Jordan Love as a starting quarterback. They handled their business against the Bears, 17-9. But how about the game last night in Miami? Buffalo Bills, Miami Dolphins. Talk about a tale of 2 halves. That's exactly what it was, because Buffalo looked shaky in the beginning, and Miami was beating them with speed. Josh Allen was playing a little too erratic for my liking. He threw 2 really bad interceptions, but then he settled down in the second half. They made it an effort to run the football, and if I'm Josh Allen, I'm giving my defense every little bit of my paycheck, because they bailed him out countless times. The change in everything was when Deontay Hardy took the punt return for the touchdown. That just shifted momentum. Miami was punched in the mouth. That's the thing. When Miami wants to make games a track meet and a shootout, right? And to alleviate that from happening, you punch them in the mouth and you make it a dogfight. And that's what Buffalo did, and they could never recover. So Buffalo did go on to win the division for the second consecutive season, for the 4th consecutive season, actually. The playoff bracket is finally here. The 2 byes in the AFC is the Baltimore Ravens, and in the NFC it is the San Francisco 49ers. The matchups is Super Wild Card Weekend, which I will be previewing every game starting tomorrow. Browns Texans is the first game on Saturday, and then Saturday night it is the Miami Dolphins and the Kansas City Chiefs. So Tyreek Hill will be back in Arrowhead. Sunday, Pittsburgh Steelers, Buffalo Bills, and the Steelers may be without T.J. Watt. Packers, Cowboys, some history there. Mike McCarthy facing his former team. These two teams have met in the playoffs a countless amount of times. Very memorable matchups at that. Jordan Love, first playoff game. And then the final game on Sunday is the Los Angeles Rams at the Detroit Lions. Matthew Stafford making his return to Detroit. Remember, he was traded for Jared Goff. So both these quarterbacks are going to be facing their former teams. And then a week from tonight, the Monday night game, which will close out Wild Card Weekend. Philadelphia Eagles, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Again, I will be previewing everything. To keep up with me, log on to the site, which is thedailyblitz.blog. Follow us on Twitter at dailyblitz_61, and follow us on Instagram at dailyblitz61. Make sure you enter your email address and become a subscriber if you do jump on the site. There's a national championship tonight, and I'm going to get ready for all that. Keep up with me on that. I'm actually about to do my Q&A segment on social media right now. The preview was coming shortly, but I wanted to make sure I dropped an episode of Monday Evening Quarterback, the Aftershow. Hope you enjoy. I will see you guys soon. And let me know who you guys have winning the Natty tonight. Do you have Michigan or do you have the Washington Huskies? Let me know in the comments, and I will see you guys soon.